In Chapter 7, we have Grammar Point 18 on direct objects and the use of an a, the personal a. The direct object pronouns are pronouns that are used in place of the object that they are representing. For example, in number 1 here, el pollo, the fish, is a masculine singular noun, and so it would use lo for its direct object pronoun. If it is a feminine singular noun, it will use la for its pronoun, like la fruta. So instead of saying, well, I like fish, I eat fish every day, fish are my favorite food, for example, I can say I eat it every day, they are among my favorites, etc. And that is using it and they, you would just use the lo to stand for the object. So you can use lo for the masculine singular nouns, like el pollo, el pan, ¿qué más? El pescado. And then la fruta is a feminine noun, so you would use la for the pronoun for that. It can go before the conjugated verb, like this is como, from comer, or it can be attached to an infinitive. And just for a preview for later, it can also be attached to a command. Like, for example, cómprelo, buy it. Nunca lo como, I never eat it. I don't need to buy it, no necesito comprarlo. La for feminine singular nouns, los for masculine plural nouns like los refrescos. It would go either before the conjugated verb or attached to the infinitive, like here. And a las for a feminine plural noun. Las, referring to the bananas, las bananas, las como todos los días. No tengo o tengo que comprarlas con frecuencia. Comprarlas, there you have the las attached to an infinitive. And also it can be attached to a command. Okay, in the direct objects, these are direct objects, what we've just been looking for. Direct object pronouns, the ones we just went over, lo, la, los, and las. Now, when you have them as objects of verbs, for example, they're objects of verbs. Anna is preparing dinner. Dinner is the object of the verb preparing. They can't hear the waiter. The waiter is the object or person that they're referring to that can't hear. So whom can't they hear is the waiter. So it can be a pronoun could stand for a person or a thing. Okay, I don't see Betty and Mary here. Betty and Mary are feminine, so I would say no las veo aquí. We don't have any money. Money is el dinero. We could say no lo tenemos, no lo tenemos. Vamos a visitar. Here in the personal a, whenever the object of the verb is referring to a person, like our grandparents, you would put a personal a before the object of the verb. A nuestros abuelos. They need their parents. Their parents are people, and they're the object of the verb also. Necesitan a sus padres. Now, if you were to substitute their parents out with a direct object pronoun, it would be los, and you could say los necesitan, or necesitan a sus padres. When you have that personal a, that it means that a person is going to follow it, a person or people in the plural. Okay, but it's not used whenever the person is unknown or non-specific. If I say, conozco a un buen chef, I know a great chef. But if I say, I need a good chef, necesito un buen chef para una fiesta. And then you don't know who it is. So instead of saying a, which is more specifically referring to a specific person, you would just leave out the a. And if you say, do you see Bear, my dog? ¿Ves a ver mi perro? ¿Ves el perro? This is that dog that you don't know. It would just be ves el perro. But if it is ves a, then the animal or person is already known. That follows the a. Okay? So a quien, you can use the a before quien, to whom, to mean to whom. Or a quienes, meaning to whom when it's plural. Also remember that the a can be used to mean to, like we're going to the beach, vamos a la playa. And it can be used after some verbs before an infinitive, like voy a salir, vamos a salir, vamos a aprender, aprendemos a hablar. That would be before an infinitive. When you have another verb here, and then you're separating the verbs, and you're saying we're going to leave. I'm going to the university. That's to in direction toward, and this is to in terms of to do something, like a verb in the infinitive. So when the object is me, your pronoun is me, and then when it's you, it's te, and then lo, la for masculine, and then for feminine. Nos, whenever we are the object of the verb, or for example, he's going to take us to the movie. You os, that's the familiar plural in the vosotros form. We don't get tested on that, but if you're in Spain, you'll probably hear that. Then you have los and las can be the object of verbs as well. So to review that, direct object pronouns are the first recipient of the action of the verb. Where are the carrots? The carrots are the object of the verb are. Do you need the carrots? The carrots are the object of the verb need. Do you need them right now? Them is a pronoun standing for the carrots. ¿Dónde están las zanahorias? ¿Las necesitas ahora mismo? Okay, so you get it. Here you only have one verb and you don't have a verb in the infinitive, so it has to go before the conjugated verb. The only way it can go attached to the infinitive is when you have an infinitive in the sentence. With infinitives or present participles, you can have, like, for example, tengo que leer, las tengo que leer, I have to read them, or tengo que leerlas. So you see the las could go before the conjugated verb tengo, or attached to an infinitive here, tengo que leerlas. Same thing with I am eating it. If it is something like el pescado, something masculine, el pan, lo estoy comiendo, or estoy comiéndolo. And here, this is the present participle form, the yendo form for AR verb. It's ando. Estoy tomándolo, for example. Multiple meanings of lo, la, los, and las. They can have different meanings depending on what your referent is, what you're referring to. So sometimes it's unclear what the law means, but it is clear what it means in the three sentences that follow. No lo veo por la niebla. I don't see. It could be lo could stand for it, him, or you. But whenever it is already stated, like el coche, no lo veo por la niebla, you know that it's el coche there that lo is standing for because it has been mentioned before in some kind of context. The same thing with el niño and usted. So summary of direct object pronouns we have there, mete, la, nos, os, los, and las. And remember, you're not going to be tested on the os. That's the vosotros form, used mainly in Spain. So try to think of some of the practicas you could use with this. For example, una persona famosa would be represented with the pronoun la. La ciudad de Nueva York would be represented by la. El estado de Montana would be represented by lo because el estado is masculine and it's singular. Looking at 7, classes is feminine, so más clases, more classes, would be represented by the object pronoun las. Okay, this is concluding the section on the direct object pronouns. Here's another example on F. ¿Por qué no haces la ensalada? Acabo de hacerla. I just have made it, la, referring to la ensalada. Okay. Okay, so cuentas here are bills. La tarea is homework. And there are a few more vocabulary words here. Cafeína for caffeine, las calorías, el colesterol, these are cognates. Fat is la grasa. To be on a diet, estar a dieta. To say it in a sentence, estoy a dieta, estás or estamos a dieta. Ser alérgico a is to be allergic to something. If I say soy alérgica, because I'm female, I'd say alérgica a la penicilina, for example. That would be used with ser. Soy, eres, es, somos o son. Soy bueno para la salud. Soy celíaca. And then me ponen nerviosa. They make me nervous. Me sientan mal. They don't agree with me. Or I hate them, like if some kind of vegetable or something. Los detesto. Like los productos lácteos would be represented by los. And if you hated that, you would say los detesto. Those products. Okay, I'll do a separate screencast for expressing negation.